Hey guys, so I just got back from the theater from seeing the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It's easy for me to say. And I remember like the last couple weeks whenever I talk about I'm going to be going to see this movie, I always have trouble saying the word ungentlemanly. Hey, I said it right for the first time, I think in like 3 videos. Um, I just want to quick send a quick shout out. I got a notification on YouTube earlier today um, that the director of Villains Inc., a movie that I reviewed like last weekend, if you didn't catch my review, what was his name? I want to say Kurt Warner, but I almost kept saying Kurt Warner, but where it was James, I don't know who the fuck it was. But the director of that movie contacted me, and I was like, huh. And it's like, and and he was very nice, very, very nice. And it's kind of funny because I'm like, I don't know if he actually watched my review because I did call his movie boring and uh, not funny, and he was really nice in his reply to my video. Like, if he did watch my video and I still said really nice things, hey, God bless him, man. I was like, this is the second time I've in the what it's almost 10, 11 years I've been doing these reviews where I actually got a response from somebody that's worked on a movie that I reviewed. So that's kind of fucking funny. It very rarely happens. It's pretty funny to me. Whenever it has happened, and it's always been like very random when it has happened. Um, so thank you to the director. I mean, hey, I won't take, even though I didn't like your movie, I won't ever, dog anybody who tries to make movies. I know it's not an easy fucking thing to do. Anyways, let's talk about the movie I wanted to talk about, or that I'm reviewing today, which is, like I said, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. This is the new Guy Ritchie movie that, when I kept getting trailers for, I kept saying, "Oh wait, is this his version of Inglorious Bastards?" And I was like, "Because it looks like it," and I'm like, "All right, even if it isn't, that like even if it's even if it's like a his version of Inglorious Bastards, I'm all on board for it. I love Guy Ritchie. I'm a big fan of his work. I've been a big fan of his work for years. Um, and like he's been making a lot of movies for the last couple of years. Like last year, he had like 2 movies that came out, which were Operation Fortune, which I remember not loving, but I thought, or I remember just thinking it was okay. One of his just okay movies, and The Covenant, which I remember being pretty good. He also did it like a couple years ago that movie, Wrath of Man, which was one of my fucking favorite movies of his, one of my favorite Statham movies. And like I said, I generally like I give the guy a lot of credit. He tries to go do things different that are out of his comfort zone, including that shitty remake of Aladdin, which wasn't his fault. I don't think was his fault. Uh, Probably wasn't a great idea having him direct it, but whatever. I mean, he tried. But I saw this. I was like, all right, it looks pretty good. It's got, I like Henry Cavill. I like Guy Ritchie. It looks like a Guy Ritchie movie if it was about World War II. I'm like, all right, I'm on board. Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of it. I did. I really did. I generally like I said, it's if you're a fan of Guy Ritchie, you're gonna like this movie. It has a lot of those same, uh, you know, Guy Ritchie esque things that you would expect of his movies. Like a lot of the characters that you would expect in his movies. I liked Henry Cavill. Um, Generally love Henry Cavill. He has come a long way for me since Man of Steel. I didn't love him in the first time I saw him in Man of Steel, and it's a shame. Like as Superman, when he first played Superman, I wasn't that impressed. But man, he's like he has gotten a lot better and like shown his range as an actor. It's really good and charming. And, like and I'll talk about him a little bit more in a minute, but I like I always like him as a lead in an action movie. He's fucking great in this movie. Even if his character is not really three dimensional, not pretty much a lot of the characters are three dimensional. Apparently, there was supposed to be a love interest, and like the main girl in the movie was supposed to be his love interest. As I found out at the end of the movie, because there was no fucking indication of that whatsoever. They had like maybe two scenes in the movie. That was that. Um, which I really did like the girl in the movie. She was this girl. I was like, I've seen her in something before, but I can't put my finger on it. I was like, she was. That, I looked it up. She was in that movie Ambulance, that Michael Bay movie, which came out a couple of years ago, which was really good, and not a lot of people saw. That was a lot. That was an entertaining sit. That was like a bizarre, insane movie. I never forget like what they were doing. She was doing like surgery on a fucking phone via Skype or something like that. That was maybe the most insane fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. For what was she trying for? What surgery? She was doing some really intricate, really like life defying surgery, like on fucking Skype. That's all I remember. That's all I remember from the movie. That was fucking insane. I remember what the hell what was she trying to do? I can't remember. Um. Oh, it was, I can't remember. But anyways, she's really good in this movie. Like she holds her own. You got like a lot of like good actors. You got Carrie Elways in this. Anytime you got Carrie Elways in a movie, I'm fucking on board. I Not 100% sure how I felt about the guy playing Winston Churchill. It seemed like a parody sketch version of Winston Churchill. Am I the only one? He's doing an alright job. I want, but it's like it was kind of a little bit goofy. It's like it's like it felt like an SNL sketch version of fucking uh, Winston Churchill more than like somebody trying to play the actual person. Um, I like this movie. I will say this: it. Like I said, I made a comparison to Glorious Bastards, and like I thought, okay, maybe towards the like beginning of this movie, I was like, okay, maybe this is definitely a little bit different. And like, no, by the end of it, I was making more and more comparisons, especially towards the final conclusion. I'm like, this has a lot of similarities to not entirely the same as Glorious Bastards. It has a whole different plot and is actually based off a true story, which apparently it is. Um, but it's still like you can make some comparisons, like the main girl in the movie having her own subplot with this general, Nazi general, who's supposed you can make the comparison that's pretty supposed to be the Christoph Waltz in this movie, although he's not as good as Christoph Waltz, not as memorable as Christoph Waltz. Uh, and like yeah, you can make a lot of comparisons here, but it didn't. But they weren't like it wasn't a whole completely carbon rip off of it. Like I said, it's also supposedly based off a true story, which I'm sure they made some embellishments too about this real story. Which apparently this was like the story that was undocumented, like after it was declassified under like Winston Churchill files, like classified files. That's pretty interesting. I don't know the whole complete story of what the hell happened, but it's like I do now kind of want to hear the whole actual story about what really went on and what was fabricated in this movie. Um, Also, I did not expect that this movie would kind of become a fucking prequel to James Bond movies. What? Like, uh, is this where the fucking memes about Henry Cavill and the rumors of Henry Cavill playing James Bond started was because of this movie? If not, that this movie ain't gonna fucking help. I'm on board for Henry Cavill to be James Bond. Honestly, I think he probably do pull off a pretty good job. he he can play charming. He can play badass really well. And I'm on board for it. If you don't know what I mean by this being a prequel to James Bond, um, So early on, when you're uh, Terry Elway's is introducing Henry Cavill to a lot of the people they're on his board or whatever, or they're part of his cabinet. Um, there's fucking Ian Fleming. There's a guy playing Ian Fleming. They're like, Ian Fleming, the guy that made the fucking Bond stories. Like, really? It's like he was involved in this. Was he really involved in this? And I was like, I guess he was. Technically, by the end of it, you find out that Henry Cavill's character, they say at the end of the movie, was the guy who inspired the James Bond character. I did not know that. I was like, oh, that's like, so this is a prequel to fucking the Bond movies. And like I said, now I kind of want to see Henry Cavill as James Bond. I don't know if I'll get that, but if I do, fuck yeah, I'm on board for that. Um, yeah, I was like, I did not expect that. Uh, huh. And like I said, I know Henry or Ian Fleming served in the military, and yeah, I knew that. Kind of. I forgot, what when he popped up in this movie. He's like, oh yeah, he did serve in the military. It's like, all right, I did not expect that. That kind of was a pleasant surprise. Like, it's like I did not expect this to turn into a prequel to the James Bond series. But cool. Um, yeah, I like this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I give it a B, solid B. Uh, it's another pretty good, solid Guy Ritchie movie. At least he's making good shit like this. It's not stuff like Swept Away and Aladdin. So that's a plus. Like he's back to doing like his style of movies that he loves to do, and this is definitely his style. So yeah, I'm on board for him to continue making movies. Like, oh yeah, there was one thing that did crack me the fuck up. So the end of this movie, it ends like almost on a cliff or like I would say almost a cliffhanger, but it ends on like a way that it felt like they were trying to make sequel bait you. And I went, what? It's like, are they really trying to sequel bait us? It's like, well, I don't think that's happening, buddy. It's like, I see the box office returns. I don't think that's happening. It's like, but then like they do a prologue at the end of the epilogue at the end of the movie explaining what happened to each of the characters in real life. I was like, okay, so no, that's probably not going to happen. It's like, but it's like that felt weird how like they were trying to like sequel bait you at one point at the end. I thought that was kind of funny. I did not expect that, but whatever. Um, yeah, I recommend the movie. Tomorrow I'm planning to. Well, this weekend we're getting killed or Boy Kills World, Unsung Heroes, and Challengers. I won't be able to see all three of them tomorrow. I got to work this weekend, so I got to try to. I'll fit it in at least Boy Kills World, and then try to see the other. We'll see the other two probably Tuesday. That's the plan right now. So tomorrow I'll have a review for Boy Kills World, and until then, I'll talk to you guys later.